Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to our Greater Indianapolis Home Buyers webinar. I want to thank you guys for spending your evening with us. This really is it's a good investment in your future, and I want to thank you for taking this seriously. My name is Dan Kolick. I'm here with Amy Robbins and Sydney Ott with Ruoff Mortgage. I would like, though, to ask everybody to please be on mute so that we don't get any feedback on our end. We do have a lot of folks that will be with us this evening. So if you would just give us 2 more minutes to allow everybody to join. And while we wait for everybody to join for just a couple more minutes, I do want to hear from you guys and gals. I would like to hear, where do you want to buy a home? And what does that home look like to you? So if you want to live in Carmel, let us know that. If you want to live in Indianapolis, Zionsville, or Greenwood, we want to know. Do you guys have a vision of a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom? Are you looking for a big backyard, small backyard, a 1-story, 2-story, a condo? So we're very eager to learn about you. So this is not about us. This is about you guys, the buyer. So I would love for you guys to please engage with us. So please don't be shy. We want this to be interactive. So I'm just going to ask you guys to find the little chat box feature on here and just say hello. So I know you're there. So you guys can leave the camera on or off. I would love to see your faces, of course, but if you cannot, no problem at all. We just want to make sure to get your questions answered as we go. We'll try to knock out as many questions as possible at the end of this webinar. And by the way, I know everybody may not be able to stay the entire time. That's fine. We just want to make sure that your individual questions are answered. So to find out what types of programs you might qualify for and create a plan for purchasing a home. So we're going to post a link in the chat box right now. There it is. Thank you, Amy, to get you guys on our calendar. So now I have a big question for you guys before we all get started. So what is bugging you about this home buying process thing? How are you feeling like right now? What keeps you up at night and costing you guys sleep as you dive into this home ownership arena? Are you concerned? Are you stressed out? Are you asking yourself, do I sign another lease or should I start building something for my family and I? Am I anxious regarding my rent going up? Can I afford a down payment on a home? Are you guys uncertain if your credit is good enough to purchase a home? Should I try to save more money before I start looking for a home? These are a lot of good questions. Here's the good news though. Home ownership isn't just a dream, and you don't have to figure it all out on your own. So we know that buying a home is a very big step and it can feel overwhelming, but you're in the right place. So today we're going to ease the pressure, provide clarity, and show you that home ownership is possible. So no matter where you are in your journey, we want to equip you with the knowledge and the confidence to take that next step. That is me. I'm Dan Kolick, your hopeful real estate agent. So right here, it shows that it's the guide in buying, selling journey. Really what I do is I bring over 20 years of experience in real estate and mortgage. I walk you through every step from searching a home to closing. My strategies are designed to get you guys the best possible results. Deliver personalized service. I take time to understand your needs and goals, and I really do. I create a tailored plan, whether you are relocating, buying your first home, or listing a property. So my focus is on building lifelong relationships, not just one transaction. That's very important to me. 3, I manage the details. I coordinate showings, I negotiate in your behalf. We got inspections we're looking at, and we're dealing with a lot of closing timelines. So I anticipate challenges and work quickly to solve them. I want to make sure you guys are fully informed, and I'm going to support you guys every step of the way. And I advocate for your best interest. I'm negotiating with skill to protect what matters to you guys most, give you guys honest and clear communication. So my goal really is just to earn your trust and create a stress-free experience. So that's enough about me. I would like for you to meet Amy Robbins, that I've known now for 11 years, as a fantastic mortgage lender and also one I consider a great friend.
Thanks, Dan. I'm thrilled to be here with you guys today. And my name's Amy Robbins with Ruoff Mortgage. So as you can see, we work as a team. You need to have a realtor when you're buying a house, and you have to have somebody, a mortgage lender, to help you finance the house. And as your loan officer, you think of me also as your guide and advocate, but during the mortgage and financing process. So here's what that looks like in practice. We create a personalized financial roadmap. I review all your financial information, your credit, income, debt, assets. I explain all the loan options that are available to you, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Together, we decide which loan fits your goals, your down payment, your monthly payment. We also talk about problem solving and strategies. So for example, maybe you need more time to establish your credit or be on your job a little bit longer. And we will help you come up with a custom plan to help you get into homeownership. We'll also look at what fits your budget, when we talk about your monthly payment, what you feel comfortable with. And I'll be the one working with the team, the underwriters and the processors and the appraisers, and coordinating the process from the time we get you pre-approved until the time you have the keys to your house. So we explain what's going on, why we need the documentation. And my job is to simplify, educate, and protect your best interests. I'm excited for you to meet my teammate at Ruoff, and her name is Sydney. So here's Sydney.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sydney. I'm excited to be here tonight. I started my career in leasing and property management, and now I help people feel confident and comfortable throughout the loan process. I'm really passionate about guiding clients through their options, helping them understand their buying power, and creating a clear plan for homeownership. I also just recently bought my first home, so I know firsthand the questions and all the concerns that come up, and I'm excited to help others reach that milestone too. Okay, Dan, we can go ahead and get started.
Sounds good. Thank you, Sydney, and all of Amy's team, of course, at Ruoff Mortgage. So here's the agenda. The agenda today is client testimonials to your home buying process, which we will discuss later in the webinar. Common mistakes to avoid in the home buying process. The myths and misconceptions about real estate mortgages. Questions and answers, and then one-on-one appointments.
We just wanted to take a moment to highlight the kind of experience that you would receive when you're working with us. And here's actually a mutual client that we work together with. And Mark shared how much Dan's listening skills, he appreciated Dan's listening skills and how he navigated him through the process. And another client, Darian, he also, oh, sorry, Dan, that was you. You're supposed to talk.
One of our past clients, Darian, here's what he said about Amy. He said, Amy has excellent communication, product knowledge, and professionalism that contributed to the successful experience of purchasing a home.
And Jerry and Lisa, actually, they attended one of our webinars, just like you guys are, and they have been in their house probably about a month or two now. But they shared in both reviews how much we educated and guided them through the process, and mentioned how we are available to answer their questions anytime, day or night. And you'll find that that's important when you're going through the home buying process, because buying a home is just not 8 to 5. You know, houses are coming on the market, you guys are working, and so we're available.
Yes, and they also shared Amy and her team kept us informed, educated, and updated. Really, the whole experience was like having your best friend who is an expert guide you through all the steps. Thanks again, Amy and Ruoff Mortgage. So, Amy and I and Sydney are here to make your home buying experience as smooth, fun, and stress-free as possible. It does get, stressful. So that's our job, really. We got it. We got the expertise. We got quick follow-up, and we're very motivated to work with home buyers like yourself. But here's the one question we want to know. What we want to know is what actually motivated you guys to start the home buying process? So over on the left side, was it to build equity and financial stability? Was it to grow your wealth as your home increases in value over time? Was it because every mortgage payment helps you to invest into your future, not your landlord's? Or maybe you were ready to actually own a home instead of renting. Pick out your own paint, decorate, and renovate as you guys wish. Perhaps add some features to your home like a fence or a deck, or to welcome pets without the never-ending constant restriction from renting. Maybe you guys were ready to take pride in owning your own home, create lasting memories, and celebrate special occasions with loved ones. Perhaps you're experiencing life changes. Things like this happen all the time, like a divorce, marriage, or needing more room to take care of your children so you can be closer to work, school, or family. This may all sound pretty familiar to you guys. So let's find that motivation that fits your current and future lifestyle. So it's really all about taking those next steps forward, and you guys are doing that by being here on the webinar. So now let's talk about what steps to take in the home buying process.
Dan, real quick, a couple people hopped on after we started, so I just want to make sure you guys feel free to ask questions in the chat. We want to, answer your questions, and please be interactive with us.
Thank you. That's correct. That's what we want. It's not about us, guys, about you guys, okay? Please, it's important. This is the home buying process. We have here is 5 steps. So number 1 is, this is very important, obtain a pre-approval. Amy and Sydney will discuss loan programs and your budget. Determine your pre-approval amount. So don't be scared. Call them. Call them. They will help you. Second step, meet with your real estate agent. That's me, hopefully. This is the step where we're going to create a customized home search for you. Focus on what you want, what you need and love. That's the fun part. So third step, searching for homes. I'm going to be doing the research for you, as I mentioned, for the home that fits your needs. We'll tour the homes together, or we're going to be showing the homes to make sure this is the perfect fit for you and your family. Fourth one is negotiation. So I'll be doing a lot of this. Negotiation is an important step. So I'm going to be preparing the purchase agreement and present the offer to the listing agent. So this agent represents the seller. This is where we negotiate the terms of the contract. And the 5th step is the most exciting part. It's the accepted offer. That's what we like to see. No other offers will be accepted at this point. It is exciting. That's why we see all that confetti. So I want to know, I want to stop you guys real quick here and ask, does anybody have any questions so far on the process? Anyone? Nobody? Let's continue to step number 6 then. The inspection. A home inspection is a thorough evaluation of the property's condition. So what's going to happen here is a licensed inspector, he's going to check the home's structure, the foundation, systems like the plumbing, the electrical, the HVAC, the roof, and I mean, much more. They're there for about 3 hours to identify any major issues or needed repairs before you move in. So that's a very important step. The seventh step here of home buying process is the lender orders the appraisal. So the appraiser, that would be if Amy's your Ruoff mortgage lender, she's going to have an appraiser. They're going to come out, they're going to assess the home's condition, location, and do some comparable sales in the area to ensure the loan amount aligns with the property's worth or the sales price. The eighth step is the final walkthrough, and it's the buyer's really is the last step to inspect the home before closing. So this serves as a buyer's last opportunity to inspect the property and to ensure it's in the same condition as when the purchase offer was accepted. Number 9, day before closing. So your lenders, Amy and Sydney, they're going to go over your final terms with you, the amount you need for closing, and they're going to ask you guys to bring yourselves and your ID to closing. And again, the most exciting part here is closing on your home at the title company. I don't remember any time in the 11 years I've been doing this where anyone was sad. Never. It's never happened. So you're going to be signing the final documents, the note, and the mortgage. And the majority of the time, you guys, right then and there, after we're all finished, you're going to get your keys, a garage door opener, and move into your new home. So the best and the easiest way to get there, though, guys, to the closing table is to avoid these common mistakes. Mistake number 1, this is important.
Yes.
Mistake number 1, not getting a pre-approval. Amy and Sydney will talk to you guys about what mistake number 1 is.
Yes, so the first and most common mistake that home buyers make is not getting pre-approved before they start house hunting. The pre-approval process isn't just a box to check, it's a powerful first step that sets the tone for your entire home buying journey. Imagine you're casually starting to look at homes, thinking you won't be buying until next summer, and then you find your dream home. You want to go look at it and you want to put an offer in, but you can't without your pre-approval letter. Not being pre-approved can cause frustration. What if you're looking for homes that are out of your pre-approval amount? What if you need more time on your job or you need to improve your credit score? We don't want you to find your dream home and then realize you can't qualify for a loan. With Ruoff Mortgage, there's no cost to obtain a pre-approval. For a pre-approval, we're taking a close look at your income, your work history, credit, and assets to get a full financial picture. This allows us to identify loan programs that not only fit with your current situation, but that are also going to support your long-term financial goals. We will also determine your buying power, and just as importantly, we'll work together to find your comfortable monthly payment. Not just what you can afford, but what you're going to feel good about affording. This process also helps us estimate the total investment you'll need to make, including down payment, closing costs, and other upfront expenses, so there are no surprises later on. And from a competitive standpoint, a pre-approval shows sellers you're serious and well qualified, which can help your offer to be accepted. In short, getting pre-approved gives you clarity, confidence, and credibility, and it's one of the smartest ways to start your home search. Next, Amy will discuss the different loan programs that we have available.
All right, thanks, Sydney. So we'll briefly go over the loan programs. There's not a one-size-fits-all mortgage, and part of our job is to help find the one that fits your financial goals and your situation the best. So conventional loans, those are the type of mortgage that are not backed by the government, like an FHA or VA loan. They typically are like for a move-up buyer, or maybe somebody has more down payment or better credit. However, FHA, that's probably our most common loan program, loan type that we help clients with. It's great for first-time home buyers. It's more flexible. It lets your debt to income go a little bit higher. It allows for flexibility with your credit score. In fact, on FHA loans, we can go down to a 580 credit score. So some of you guys might be wondering, what credit score do I need? And 580 for an FHA loan. They're backed by the government and can help make homeownership more accessible. USDA loans, those are available for properties that are in eligible rural or suburban areas. So in the outskirts, so not like in Indianapolis at all, but in the outskirts. They offer 100% financing, meaning no down payment for qualified buyers. VA loans are for eligible veterans, active duty service members, National Guard, reserves with six credible years, and some surviving spouses also qualify for VA loans. Again, it's 100% financing and no private mortgage insurance is required. We'll talk about private mortgage insurance here in a minute. So in summary, FHA loans are the most common for first-time home buyers as they have less restrictions. For example, VA loans are only for veterans and USDA loans are based on the property location. Earlier, I mentioned the term mortgage insurance or PMI, private mortgage insurance. PMI is required unless you have 20% down or you're a veteran. So it protects the lender in case you default on the loan. So the other way to look at it is it allows you to buy a house without 20% down because a lot of people don't have 20% to put down on a house. We have other non-qualified mortgage programs for people in unique situations, like maybe you're self-employed, but your income on your tax returns is less than what you actually make because you write off a bunch. So there's lots of different programs. And as Sydney and I are reviewing your application, we'll determine what fits you best. Real quick, are there any questions about loan programs? I'm going to check the chat here. I'm also going to put the link in here again for scheduling one-on-one meetings. We've actually already got a couple people scheduled, so thanks for that. We'll talk to you soon. But you might be wondering, down payment assistance. Do we have any down payment assistance programs? And we do. That's a real common question. And the good news is we do. These programs offer assistance in the form of either 3% or 5% of your selling price. That goes towards your down payment and then a portion of your closing costs. So for many buyers, it can make a big difference at being ready to move sooner than later without having to save that down payment. There are a few things to keep in mind, though. Most programs have credit score requirements, and for the down payment assistance, it is a 600 credit score. And there might be income limits. So depending on the location, we would look at what the income limits are. There are other first-time home buyer programs that offer reduced interest rates on a conventional loan. So if you have your own down payment, you meet the income requirements, and you can go with a conventional loan, then you have a reduced interest rate. It's about 0.25% lower. So that's a great first-time home buyer program as well. The bottom line, we'll help you explore all your options. We'll look at what programs you may qualify for and help you compare the benefits. Whether it's your first home or you need a little extra support, we're here to help make it work. As I mentioned, credit scores a couple of times. Let's dive a little deeper into credit scores. So what is a credit score? A credit score is basically a grade on how you manage paying your bills on time and how responsible you are with your debts. So let's discuss how a mortgage credit score is determined. The biggest chunk, if you're looking at the pie chart here, is 35% of your credit score is determined on your payment history. Do you pay your bills on time for your car loans and student loans and credit cards? The second biggest chunk of your credit score is the amounts that you owe as a percentage of the credit limit on your credit cards. So ideally, you want to keep your credit balance less than 30% of the credit limit. So if you have $1,000 credit limit on a credit card, you want to try and keep your balance around $300 or less. And those are some things when Sydney and I are talking to you, and let's say we need to work on your credit a little bit. We have a credit simulator. We submit your credit through and it tells us exactly what steps it would take to get your mortgage ready to purchase a home. So those two combined add up to more than half of your credit score. But also how long you've had credit, what type of credit, and then credit inquiries. You don't want to have too many people checking your credit. Now, often people will say, oh, I know my credit score. I got it on my app, or I got it on Credit Karma. And just to let you know, those are good sources to see trends in credit, but it's not a mortgage credit score. Mortgage credit scores are a little bit more in depth. We look at a 10-year history, where like Credit Karma looks at what your credit score is today. Like every day it gives you a different credit score. So we would give you a mortgage credit score and give you advice on how to get that up if needed. Now, sometimes people have, like a 700 credit score and their goal is to have an 800, and we can help you with that as well. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put the link in here again for a one-on-one, but speaking of, credit, where did you learn the importance of paying your bills on time? Because a little pet peeve of mine is they don't teach it in school most of the time. So people don't realize the importance of paying their bills on time, or even establishing credit at all. Maybe you learned from, family members or at home, and, that could be good or bad, just depending on the situation. If your credit needs a little work, don't worry. Don't try and tackle it alone. Don't try this at home. We're here to help you, because we're going to give you a custom plan from a mortgage point of view. So the truth is, you could actually do more harm than good if you try and do it before you call us. Some people are like, oh, I don't want them to think I have all these unpaid medical collections. I'm going to pay them all. Actually, we don't care about medical collections, because we understand, how insurance works and whatnot. So we don't want you to pay any collections off without talking to us first, because if it's an old collection and you pay it, you're going to bring new activity to it. So it's like you woke up an old account that wasn't affecting you very much. So just wait to pay anything off until we tell you whether you should do that or not, because if you apply money towards paying down balances or credit cards before talking to us, that could have been money you could have used to buy the house now, or we could have used that money somewhere else. Maybe you haven't started to establish your credit yet, and that's totally fine. We'll help you. We'll give you advice on that. We do have loan programs that just look at alternative credit ratings, like your utilities. Do you pay your phone, gas, electric, rent on time? We can build your credit that way as well without a credit score. Adding a cosigner. So a cosigner can help in some situations. Cosigners help more when maybe the income isn't enough to help you qualify for a house, or maybe you've started a new job that we can't count that income yet, or you haven't been there quite long enough with overtime, things like that. But they don't fix a credit score. So if you have a cosigner, you both still need to have whatever the minimum credit score is for that loan program. So if you have a 550 and your cosigner has a 700, you still need to have, a 580 if that's the loan program that we're doing. But Sydney and I will help you create a custom plan so that we can get you in and tell you exactly how long it's going to take. And again, there's no cost to you. Sydney mentioned earlier that the pre-approval is no cost, and it's no cost for us to give you guidance and hold your hand and follow up with you and make sure that we're answering your questions. So if you're not sure where your credit stands, schedule a one-on-one appointment with you, click the link, and we'll help get you on the path there. Let's see, out-of-pocket expenses. So you may be asking, I wonder what it costs to buy a house. And some of these expenses are up front. Dan mentioned the inspection and the appraisal. Earnest money is when the offer gets accepted. When Dan was talking about the process, the earnest money is an upfront fee. So those are some fees that we want you, when we talk to you, we'll kind of talk to you about how much those are and what to be saving for. And then at the time of closing, there are lender and title company fees. There's prepaid expenses, which is like your first year's homeowner's insurance premium. And if we're doing a down payment, if you need a down payment, that would be due at the time of closing. So it's like you kind of are prepaying. The upfront fees are like part of the total picture, and you just pay them like along the way. When you do the inspection, you pay that. When you do the appraisal, we collect that from you. So it's kind of nice. You get to pay it in chunks. Let's see, the down payment, sorry. So those are the upfront expenses. Another common question we get is how much can I afford to buy? And again, it's not a one size fits all answer. It really depends on a few key factors. When we're looking at affordability, lenders focus on four main things. Your income, which I have listed here, could be your job, your wages or salary, could be Social Security. Sometimes people have disability Social Security or disability income, child support or alimony, pension. So these income forms, we do need to document them. And so those are things that Sydney and I would tell you what sort of documentation that we need. We also review your monthly debts. For example, the minimum payments on your credit cards. I put minimum payments there because that's when we're doing your debt to income, we don't use the full balance. Like if you have a $200 balance, but a $20 payment, we'll do the $20 in the debt to income. Your vehicle loans or boat loans, student loans. There's kind of a myth out there that student loans, you can't buy a house if you have student loans. That's not true. They do need to be either in deferment or making payments on them. They can't be in default, but we can help you with student loans. IRS payments, let's say that you owe the IRS some money and you're making monthly payments, we would include that as a debt as well. A good rule of thumb when we're looking at your debt to income is you want to try, once we determine what your qualifying income is, we want your total debt, meaning your new mortgage payment and your monthly debts, not to be more than like 45% of your gross monthly income, because we know there's going to be other expenses. You've got utilities, gas, if you've got kids and they've got sports, we don't want you to be, what's the term, house poor, where you can't do anything else but just stay in your house. We look at your credit score because that determines your loan program and it determines your interest rate, which can determine your interest rate, which would tell us what your payment would be. And then we also look at your down payment. As a thank you for coming today, we'll be following up with you in the next couple days with an affordability calculator that you'll be able to punch those numbers in. But also when you schedule an appointment with us, we'll give you exactly what we're going to look at. So when it comes to money that you're going to use for your down payment or that appraisal or the earnest money that we talked about, there's certain forms of income or certain forms of money that we can use. We can use like anything that you have in your checking or savings, documented gifts from family members. If you have money in your 401k and you want to use that, we just have to document everything. What we cannot use is like credit cards. You can't borrow money to borrow money. You can't take unsecured loans out to buy a home, cash advances, undocumented cash that you have saved at home. Sydney and I would talk to you about these situations and tell you the best way to handle them. And gifts from a non-relative. We would just have to talk to you about who that person would be, that they would have enough interest in the situation that you would be buying a house, that they would, for us to be able to determine if we can use it. Sydney is going to share some tips for a smooth mortgage process.
Yes. So there are some small actions that can have a big impact on your loan approval. So it's worth paying attention to this do and don'ts list. So to start with a do, please do call us with any questions if you're unsure about anything. Just ask. We're here for that. We're here for all the questions. Do continue living at your current residence and paying your rent or mortgage as normal. Do maintain your current job and income. Stability is really key during this process. Do use your credit as usual, but do not try to fix or rearrange anything without checking in with Amy or I first. Like Amy was saying earlier, it's better to just check in with us first and see what you really need to take care of to improve your score. Do pay all of your bills on time. Even one small late payment can affect your credit and delay your approval. And finally, do expect us to ask for documents along the way. This is totally normal. Now for the don'ts. Do not make any large purchases like furniture, cars, anything that could affect your credit or your savings. Do not change bank accounts or make large cash deposits without any documentation. So don't take that cash that you have sitting in your safe and all of a sudden put it all in your bank account. Just talk to us before you make any changes like that. Don't transfer balances, close credit cards, or consolidate debt during the process. These moves can shift your credit profile in ways that are going to hurt your approval. And absolutely don't apply for new credit, including credit cards, car loans, or co-signing for someone else. With all this being said, we do also understand that life happens and you may need to buy a new car or you may have an opportunity at work. But we just ask that before you make any big financial decisions that you check in with Amy or I first, and we can guide you through all of the do's and don'ts for your specific situation. That way everything stays on track for a smooth closing process. And Dan, you can go ahead and tell us about mistake number 2.
All right. Thank you very much, Sydney. Is everybody still there? Because it's pretty quiet. So if you're watching this and you're like, I got a question, but I don't want to ask, do the one-on-one. But there is a mistake number 2, and that is going to the listing agent or the buyer or the builder to buy your home and not using the buyer's agent. So hire a buyer's agent like me, Dan. Why? Why should we even hire a buyer's agent? Okay, so well, they represent you, not the seller. So we represent, like I'm an attorney and I'm representing you guys. A buyer's agent protects your interest, negotiates price, and spots red flags. 2, market knowledge. The buyer's agent is going to analyze data and the comps. So comps, if you ever heard that, it's called comparables, to help you guys determine fair pricing and avoid overpaying. Number 3 is access to trusted professionals. So a buyer's agent, we're going to recommend inspectors, contractors, and lenders like Amy who serve your needs, not the seller's needs. Number 4, your earnest money. That's the one where it's like good faith money when you get an accepted offer. Earnest money protection. So they're going to ensure contracts and contingencies are written in a way that protects your deposit. Why you should use a buyer's agent. Number 5, it's really stronger negotiation is what this is. The buyer's agent, we're going to fight for price reductions, closing costs, inspection repairs, any out-of-pocket costs or upgrades. Those pile up. So that's where I come in and help you guys with that. That's part of my job in negotiating. So you know what? I can also negotiate the buyout of your lease. If your lease is holding you guys back from purchasing a home. So that's a big deal. And a lot of people ask me about that. Oh, you can buy out my lease? Like my lease is not, it's next March, so I can't buy a home now. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can. So we got a lot of people who's going to buy out the lease so you can actually afford it now. Really, in conclusion, having a buyer's agent gives you guys the edge in securing the best deal. Now, why you shouldn't use the listing agent or the builder's rep. You guys see this every so often, hey, use me, the builder. I mean, we got everything here. We'll help you guys. They work for the seller. The builder is like the seller. Look at it that way. You guys are the buyers. So they work for the seller, not you. Their loyalty is to the builder or the seller. It's not your best interest. It's also a conflict of interest. So a dual agent, that's one that works for both the buyer and the seller, and those are available. That happens, but they can't negotiate aggressively for you or disclose the seller's motivations. 3 is limited pricing advice. So a listing agent, they won't tell you if a home's overpriced. They're not going to suggest any lower offers. I promise you that. That's where a buyer's agent comes in. So number 4 Lack of buyer protections. They may downplay any inspection issues, and they do, or repairs, as well as push you guys towards using a builder's preferred lender. So that happens all the time. Go with us, because we're going to do this for you and this for you. They're not looking out after for your best interest. So a reminder, guys, any questions, please click the link in the chat box to schedule a one-on-one. This is the most important. This webinar is about action. First things first, you guys came here. Cool, done, check. Second one, watch it throughout. If you can't, call Amy, call me one-on-one. So, and just put your questions in the chat box. You guys are quiet. That's why you're here. So we're going to try to answer them. If we don't get to your questions or you would like to discuss your specific situation, please, again, schedule that one-on-one. That's the most important. Mistake number 3 is skipping a home inspection. What is the cost of skipping a home inspection? I don't get many of these. Most people will want to do an inspection, but some don't. I love the house. I don't want to screw this up. No inspection. It's not a good idea. You purchase a house unaware of deal breakers. You have no idea what's behind those walls. You really do not. You lose your negotiating power. That's for sure. You risk inheriting non-structural safety issues like mold. I saw it yesterday. I was telling Amy about it before this webinar. I see mold a lot. That's why you don't skip a home inspection. You miss having a forecast of future repair costs. They're gonna be costly, these things. So that's why you want to have home inspection done. They're gonna point out all of this for you guys. And it's gonna cost you guys later on down the road. So you want to have an inspection. You're just not gonna know if there's any major or safety issues at all. So really, in summary, it may cost you literally thousands of dollars by skipping a home inspection. Please don't do that. Talk to me first.
So a common question is now the right time to buy? Dan, what are your thoughts about that? Is now the right time to buy?
It is. It is. So why buy real estate now? Timing the market. Timing the market equals missed opportunities. Most buyers, this is true, most buyers wait for the perfect time. Guys, there is no perfect time. There is no perfect time. You build equity by acting, not hesitating. You guys are here again for that reason, right? You're here. Home prices, they keep rising. Low inventory is driving home values up. But so buy now before prices go higher. And also the interest rates, they're really better than you guys think. When COVID happened, that was a historic low. We don't have those. And on an average, I don't know what the average is, but 7, 8, I'm not quite sure, but they're even lower than that right now, but they are better than you think. So overall, interest rates, they're normal. They're really normal. You can always refinance at a later time, but you can't buy at yesterday's prices. You know, a common phrase we hear often is marry the house, date the rate. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but I kind of like it. It's kind of catchy. Equity starts on day 1. Every payment builds your wealth, not your landlord's. Rent is not saving you guys money, is it? I'm pretty sure it's not. I have a feeling your rent also goes up from time to time. Today's rents are rising faster than inflation. That's a lot. However, a fixed home mortgage equals a stable payment. So that's what a fixed mortgage is. There's adjustable rates, and that goes up and down. And then there's a fixed rate, which is what Amy usually puts everybody on, a fixed rate. Renters are always putting, and by the way, check this out and listen to this. Renters are always paying a mortgage. Did you guys know that? Renters are paying a mortgage. It's just not your own. It's your landlord's. Less competition right now. So many buyers are sidelined, giving you guys the leverage. People wait. Oh, we're in October. I'll wait till next spring. That's not a good idea. Get it now. These homes are sitting, waiting for a buyer. So you guys are going to also avoid bidding wars on the price of the home. This happens quite a bit. This usually happens in the springtime. So you don't want to avoid bidding wars. It's like going back and forth and you're paying higher and higher. You don't want to do that. So you also get to negotiate the home repairs. That's where I would help you guys. Get seller's concessions. I don't know if you ever heard of that. A seller's concession is like closing cost. So have the seller pay the buyer's closing cost. And we do that a bunch. These are really all good examples of leverage. Tax and financial advantages. It's a big deal right there. Write off a good portion of your mortgage interest as well as your property tax deduction. So a good accountant's going to show you all this, and you'll be like, "Oh, hey, I'm getting some pretty good money here." It's true. You're not paying out as much. This all really means good savings to you. So buy now, refinance later. Lock in your home equity now. I keep saying now, now, now. Refinance when the interest rates drop, which means really it's a savings to you guys later on down the road. If they drop, then refinance. It'll keep getting lower that way, but otherwise it's a fixed rate. So don't wait for that perfect home. Please buy for purpose because life doesn't wait on you guys. Why wait? If you're financially ready, it's time. Don't let home ownership be another missed opportunity. Remember, more wealth is lost waiting than acting. So now is the right time to buy a home. Now, Amy, she's gonna cover some myths and misconceptions that we often hear from our clients.
Thanks, Dan. Yes, so Sydney and I are going to bust some of these common myths and misconceptions about buying a home, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. So Sydney, do I need 20% down to purchase a home? Do I need 20% down payment?
You actually do not need 20% down payment. Many loan programs require much less, sometimes as low as 3% or even 0 with VA or USDA loans, or down payment assistance programs can also cover that down payment. Amy, can I buy a home after a bankruptcy?
Yes, you can. FHA loans, I mentioned earlier that they are the most flexible and they are also the most lenient when you've had a bankruptcy. So just after 2 years, discharged 2 years, you can buy a house. So if you have a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and it's been discharged 2 years, you can buy a house, and only 1 year after Chapter 13. So if you're paying on a Chapter 13 is when you set up a payment plan. We just need 1 year history and trustee approval. However, what I would say though is if you have had a bankruptcy, we definitely want to have you get with me or Sydney, because we need to make sure that you've reestablished credit to get your credit score where it needs to be. Sydney, are online lenders the same as local lenders?
Online lenders are not the same as local lenders. So local lenders like us at Ruoff Mortgage offer personalized service. We have local market knowledge and direct communication, and that can make a big difference. Amy was saying earlier, it's not buying a home is not just an 8 to 5 process. You're working during the day. Maybe you need to be able to text and call us after you get home from work, and us being local and direct makes that a lot easier. And name and recognition is really important when your offer is being reviewed. So when a seller sees that the lender is with Ruoff Mortgage, that can be super helpful. Amy, is interest rate, is that all that matters?
There are many factors to consider, like the terms of the loan, what the fees are, and the customer service. So if you're seeing, you just always have to check that fine print, because we can get you whatever rate you want, just depends how much you want to pay for it. And sometimes online lenders will post lower rates, but then the fine print have a lower interest rate. So you just got to make sure you're comparing apples to apples. Sydney, is a pre-qualification and a pre-approval the same thing?
The pre-qualification and the pre-approval are not the same thing. The pre-qualification is going to be a quick estimate based on verbal information that you give us. And then a pre-approval is much more detailed. It's a verified document that has been reviewed and carries much more weight and clarity with the sellers.
All right, very good. Well, we're going to just recap a couple things here and then get you on your way. We appreciate you guys spending your night with us. We've explored the home buying process from pre-approval to closing. We broke down exactly what to expect every step of the way. We identified 3 common mistakes that are often made by first-time home buyers and how to avoid them. We debunked some prevalent myths that can cause confusion or delay your home buying journey. If you take one, if you take one thing away from today, it's that we are here to help you, and we're here to help you become knowledgeable and prepared with the best tools and to guide you through it. So how do we work together? Sydney and I help to take the stress out of financing so that you know your options and have you prepared. We walk you through the options, explain what makes the most sense based on your goals. We manage the approval process behind the scenes so you can focus on finding the right house. While we're focusing on the financing side, Dan, the realtor, is your expert on the housing side. He knows the neighborhoods, the market trends, and how to negotiate on your behalf to get you the best deal.
Yeah, and I help clients through the entire buying and selling process, so it's from the search to negotiating your terms, as I mentioned earlier, to guiding you guys through inspections and closing. I mean, my job really is just to make sure you guys feel confident every step of the way. I don't like angry clients. I don't. And I don't get many of them because that's why we talk and we go through the whole process and we get one-on-one and answer all your questions. So one team, one game plan, and one seamless experience. So from pre-approval to the keys in your hand, you never feel like you're on your own. So make sure, I know you mentioned this, I'm going to say it again. Make sure you schedule your one-on-one consultation. How
All
are you
right,
guys?
Dan. Yeah, let's see how people are feeling now.
How are you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling now? I mean, you started this whole thing like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. It's too much money. It's too much that rent. It's going up. I don't know what to do. As you leave today, I sincerely hope you're feeling more confident though, and less stressed out about the home buying process. So, I mean, working together with a trusted mortgage lender and Ruoff Mortgage, so we've given you guys the tools and the knowledge to make smart, confident decisions. You're no longer stepping into the unknown. You're stepping forward with a plan. So as I mentioned earlier, a plan is what you do. Get on the webinar, listen to the webinar, ask questions, reach out to us. You're now more educated, hopefully, on what to expect, what to look for, how to navigate this whole entire process. And so hopefully you guys are feeling more excited because this really is the beginning of an incredible journey towards owning your own home. So while we're here to guide you, support you, and celebrate with you, it is time to get started. There you go. Time to get started and be excited. So first step, book a call with us to discuss your personal situations. Second, are you guys writing this down? Second, get a pre-approval with Amy and Sydney so we know what your buying power is. Third step, call me, Dan. Call me Dan. And let's go house shopping for your dream home. Oh, and by the way, thank you guys. I'm looking here. I can see it. Thanks for booking your appointments. They're coming in on the calendar. I love to see that. And guys, I just want to thank you guys for coming. Honestly, please look at that screen there. That's my email. That's Amy's email. There's our phone numbers. We want to thank you guys for joining in and spending your time with us. We do look forward to helping you guys during this exciting time in your home buying journey. Remember this: the time is to act is now. Now is the time. If this webinar has helped you guys and you believe this would help anyone else that you know, your family, your coworkers, we got another webinar coming up in about a month. Reach out to us. We'll let you guys know all about it. So please, again, feel free to reach out to us by phone, text, email. Most importantly, we do look forward to meeting with you guys and your family one-on-one. So thank you guys once again. Amy, drop the mic.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a great evening. Thanks again.